Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to be looking at the Unholy Death Knight Legion Timewalking Mage Tower. This one was actually a pretty long fight. Uh, we did have a few issues during the fight. Obviously I don't main a DK. It wasn't fun for me. But we made it. That's what matters. Let's go ahead and cover the normal bases. We got talents, consumables, gear, and macros. So we're going to take a look at those. But before we get started, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down bottom. We're doing a Mage Tower series, doing as many classes as we can. I think we're at 8 right now. Been a fun trip. All right. So let's get started with the talents. So our talents, we're going to take Clawing Shadows as our first tier talent. We could also use All Will Serve, but it's not required, or it's not really that big of a damage increase, and the flexibility of Clawing Shadows is kind of unbeatable because it helps you kill the Fuming Imps. Next here we have Unholy Blight. Surround yourself with a vile swarm of insects for 6 seconds, stinging all enemies and infecting them with Virulent Plague, and it also stacks a minion damage increase, so it's huge whenever we're trying to kill everything. Third talent we have is Asphyxiate. It lets us asphyxiate one of the imps and death grip the other imp after they started their heal channel, which counts as an interrupt because they can't recast. Next we have Soul Reaper. It's just the execute for the Death Knight, and it also gives us Runic Corruption. We can use this on the imps right before they die, and we'll get the Runic Corruption, and it helps our rune generation throughout the fight. After that, we have Spell Eater. Anti-magic shell absorbs 30% more magic damage and lasts 5 seconds longer. This is really useful in the fight because when she spawns the packs of imps, there's smoldering imps. They have a stacking damage increase. So this will help with that, and it will also help if we mess up and use our interrupt at the wrong time and we can't interrupt her damage channel, which as a DK, the damage channel actually stacks damage as long as you channel it. Next here we have Unholy Pact. Just makes your dark transformation put a chain between you and your empowered minion, and it does a lot of damage. While it's active, you also gain 5% strength, so it is a nice cooldown. Last, we have Army of the Damned. Deathcold and Epidemic reduce the cooldown of Apocalypse by 1 second, Army of the Dead by 5. And they both also spawn a Magus of the Dead, which does a ton of damage. Alright, so let's go ahead and go on to our next thing, which is going to be gear. Now, my DK is usually playing, whenever I'm playing my DK, I'm usually playing Frost or Blood. So I don't have very good gear for Unholy, but I just threw on what I could. I don't have anything crazy. I don't even have my cloak enchanted. My weapon, I have Fallen Crusader on it. I don't really have any alternative trinket options, so I'm just using Titanic Ocular Gland, which gives me a little bit of haste, and I'm using the Harmonic Crowdbreaker. So my stats when we went into the fight were about 23 crit, 25 to 28 haste, 25 mastery, and 3% versatility. Also had 3% leech out here, so it's probably 2 or 3% inside, and speed, a little bit of speed. All right, next we have our consumables. We're going to be using our drums of Deathly Ferocity. You can also use any other drum that works at level 50. We have our potions of Spectral Strength. We have our Veiled Augment runes. You can use any augment rune that gives you 5 or more. Now, I have Heavy Desolate Armor Kit on my bar. However, I suggest just buying the regular Desolate Armor Kits because they're a lot cheaper and they do the same thing. After that, we have Shadow Core Oil for our weapon. And lastly, we have food. I used haste food, however, I would suggest main stat food. Paralysis Blood Sausage gives main stat, however, but it is going for an insane amount of gold on my server. So if you're going to use main stat food, you can always just buy the cheap feasts because they're only like 200 gold. I think the Paralysis Blood Sausage was like 10,000 last time I looked. So just buy a feast, drop yourself a feast, and then we can go into the encounter. Last thing we're going to look at is macros. I only use 2. I use a Dark Transformation and a Potion of Spectral Strength, all in one button macro, because Dark Transformation also gives you 5% increased strength, so you get the most out of your potion right there. And we also have a Mind Freeze Focus macro. Nothing out of the normal. That's just can throw Agatha on focus and then keep your interrupt there so you don't mess up and interrupt the ads like I did. Alright, with all that, let's take a look at the encounter and we can get started. Alright, let's go ahead and get started here. We got our flask on, we got our food buff, we have our augment rune on, we have our shadow core oil on, so we are ready to go. Do a little bag cleaning while we're sitting here waiting. Alright, she's about to become active. Pop army, pop our Unholy Blight and our Dark Transformation, drop our Death and Decay. Get our 4 stacks, pop our Apocalypse. Alright, so we got the opener done. Now there are some people that said they're doing quite a bit more damage than me. I've talked to I think 3 other DKs, but I don't main DK, so I'm doing what I can. So back on Agatha here. Now this fight was pretty long for me as well, partially because of the again, I'm not used to playing DK, but I messed up a few times and she got quite a bit of healing. So if you do what I say and don't do what I did, you can probably get this done quite a bit quicker. Alright, so we got the Fuming Imp slowed. We're going to go ahead and kill it because it was about... There's our grip and our stun, so they can't heal her. Now, just Death Strike back up. Get our second Apocalypse out. You can use Apocalypse as you like, or you can wait to use it with Unholy Blight whenever you're killing all the imps. I just use it on her directly because it helps with single target damage. You'll notice I'm facing the back, that way I can see if the imps spawn. There, they just spawned. Interrupt her. I ran back, I put a Soul Reaper. Alright. Kill this second imp and then we're back on her. So I also use AMS whenever I go to my ad killing phase, just because it helps generate some runic power from the damage I'm receiving, and it makes it to where the scorching imps don't just murder me. So I'm pretty much always using Dark Transformation, Unholy Blight, and my AMS together. Okay, so let's kill her while she's stacking that damage. Done. Or sorry, break her shield. There's our grip and our stun. Gonna Chains of Ice the Fuming. Got Soul Reaper on him. Fuming imps are more important. It makes the fight take a little bit longer if you don't kill these healing ads. But sometimes it's more important to kill the ads and not have the fuming zone than it is to lose real estate, so to speak, because you're so focused on so focused on stopping her healing. You can last a really long time in this fight, as you'll see with me. But what you can't do is have very poor ad management. I think I fought her for like 15 minutes the other day. Now, I should have broken the shield first here and interrupted her, but I messed up, and because of that I had to sacrifice my anti-magic shield, which was not ideal, but sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do. That happened because I used my interrupt on the ad and not on her. Okay, she left. We're gonna go ahead and do what we can here. All right, we're gonna drop a bunch of death strikes right here to heal up. I get really low like this 2 or 3 times during this fight. We used Lichborn right there because it gives you 10% increased leech. I get low because I messed up on my cooldowns or used interrupts in places I shouldn't have used them. There's our grip and our stun. Our pet died, which is going to happen kind of often in this fight. Sometimes you're slow like me right here. See, I almost die again right here, but lucky some death strikes, and I got a trinket proc right there. Death strike. Got my pet back up. Death strike. These, and if you leave the smoldering imps up, they will wreck your day. So you have to make sure you're killing your imps. They get a stacking damage increase. The longer they... Now, you'll notice right here, I got lucky and got the ads to spawn. So I'm going to use these free death strikes, free empowered death strikes right here to help top myself. Again, I had to sacrifice anti-magic shell. I do prefer using it when the imps come out, when she spawns the 5 imps right here. This is my favorite place to use it because it has the most use and you get a lot out of it. Death strikes. Death strikes. I'm just death striking. Or death strike your way to glory. Okay. Most of our runic power is spent on death coils to get the lower cooldown of Apocalypse and Army of the Dead. However, do not be afraid to save it and use it on death strikes. She's gonna have quite a bit of damage here because I haven't interrupted her yet. The damage from that attack going too long does get pretty crazy. So you do have to prioritize it at a point, but for now, we were looking okay. So I just figured I would go ahead and kill the imps so they didn't heal her. I actually got a bad spawn on these imps right here because I'm in a very bad place. We're gonna pop our Unholy Blight and everything else, and we're just gonna go in, stun our healing imps, death strike our way to glory. I popped Icebound right there in case that boulder hit me, that way I didn't get stunned, and also the damage reduction. I do have Lichborn back up currently. I debated on using it there, but I got a few death strikes and didn't really need it. Notice I'm putting all my Soul Reapers in her, that way it'll break her shield. I can't really stabilize my HP currently. That's why I popped Lichborn, and I'm also working on these imps now. See, this is where I was talking about that she's gonna get to heal up because I had to sacrifice my my stun in order to stop that imp from exploding, which gave me another heal, which actually saved my life. We're making sure we put Soul Reaper on her as much as we can, killing these ads, and killing the ads also gives you a empowered Death Strike, so the more you can kill, the better. At this point, I'm just hoping that she will transition back down, because the platform up here is pretty dirty. So we got her to transition right there. We're gonna kill these two imps, and then we're gonna go down. There we go. Got a fuming imp down here. We're gonna Soul Reaper it. We're gonna pop our 2 cooldowns, and we're gonna spam Epidemic. And we got our army back up, and we have an Apocalypse right here. So we got a lot of damage on the boss right now. And we see the 2 servants coming, so we're gonna go target those. Just burn them down real quick. My pet died again, so we're gonna get a new pet. And now we get to go back up top, which is not where we want to go, but gotta go with wherever she goes. She likes to transition a lot with DKs. I think with Druids she only does it twice. Okay, got her shield popped. Again, those smoldering imps are deadly. I went ahead and used my inner up there because her Dark Fury had 24 seconds, so that's enough time for it to recharge too. So we're just she's in a good spot. We have 12 seconds before she does her other ability, so we're just pushing and pushing, and she's teleporting down bottom, but she's got Soul Reaper on her, and boom, execute, killed her. So moral of the story, speed and pushing her as fast as you can isn't necessarily the most important thing. Consistently killing the ads and progressing through the fight will get you there. Alright guys, thank you again for watching the video. Thank you if you've subscribed. If you haven't, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. Help me out tremendously. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video or if it helped you. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below. With that said, have a great night. See you guys next time.